This is Born Strategist, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Tonkor grenade launcher. Now, the reason why I decided to do this video is because there have been other videos talking about this weapon, but I never felt as if they actually gave you as much information as you should have gotten from those videos. So, I'm going to go ahead and do one of my own. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the Tonkor grenade launcher is a 2-round mag capacity grenade launcher, meaning that it has 2 grenade rounds before you have to finally reload. And the reload time on that grenade launcher is actually 2 seconds, but when you utilize fast hands, because it does count as a rifle, you can reduce it down to 1.5 reload speed. Now that's 1.5 seconds, and it's not too bad. Now, aside from the short magazine capacity, there really isn't too many downsides to this particular weapon, other than the fact that when you try to shoot your projectiles, you better make sure they actually hit their target, meaning that those grenades will not detonate on impact unless they actually hit the target. So if you attempt to maybe shoot it at the ground, or if you're attempting to maybe have it impact on a wall, isn't going to happen. It's going to bounce every single time. Now they'll eventually detonate, but they won't detonate instantaneously, meaning that they won't detonate when they impact on a wall or impact on a surface unless it's an enemy. So make sure that when you're firing the grenade that you utilize it in the best possible way, which is when they're coming directly at you. Because if you attempt to use the Tonkor grenade launcher when you're seeing a target run across your screen, maybe from the left to the right or to the right to the left, especially at longer ranges, you're going to have a really difficult time trying to hit them. So remember, utilize this weapon in close range confrontations because it can actually function very well as if it were a shotgun. And since it doesn't do very much damage to you, you don't have to worry about killing yourself all that often. So it's a great option for those of you that like controlling corridors and survival missions, or taking out people in close range confrontations and being able to do splash damage to all other surrounding enemies. That said, this is an excellent weapon for those of you that like using wide area of effect weaponry. And if you're a person that likes playing defense missions or survival missions, and you like taking out large groups of enemies as quickly as possible, then this is definitely the weapon for you. Now just remember, if you're going to be utilizing this weapon as your primary, then you better make sure that you pack a very, very versatile secondary. And for me, that is going to be the Lex Prime pistol. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be my go-to weapon for every situation because it is that good, especially when you have the appropriate modifications on it. But I always suggest that everyone, when you're utilizing this weapon, that you make sure they're using a reliable secondary weapon, because you're not going to be able to use the Tonkor in every single situation, but when you're playing in the right game modes, rest assured it's going to be very, very effective, especially against really large mobs of enemies and very close quarter confrontations. With that said, thanks for watching. And for more objective reviews, strategy guides, commentaries, and more, stay tuned to this channel.
Tonkor.